now that like pretty much like I think like everything's out in the open, now I can actually finally say like the other side of my opinion, which is the more pessimistic side, the side that a lot of people probably wanted to hear last week, but I refused to because I wanted to have like the actual goods out there, not just like dogpile on leaks. I want to show you something. So everyone last week was really mad about Overwatch and like big mad, like, you know, no information. There was the leaks about, you know, pay to win. Now that everything's public, it's much more of like people have settled down. They're like, oh, okay, it's not that bad. Obviously it's not perfect, but it's not that bad. And a lot of actually other games, and I wish, dude, I actually wanted to show you guys some of the tweets I saw from like, it was like someone from Apex who does like news and like follows like, I don't know if it was like a drama channel or whatever, but they were talking about how incredible Overwatch's battle pass is and compared to Apex's dog shit battle pass. And a lot of communities felt that way. Like they looked at the Overwatch one and went, wow, that's actually pretty good. That's not totally what I want to talk about. Not because I want to talk about this, but I think it's actually kind of important. I think Overwatch is starting to do the things that are right, but their marketing messages are so bad. And I mean so bad. Embarrassingly so. I'm talking about the little casuals, the casual players of Overwatch that play like once a month or a couple times a month. They six stack with friends. They're the players that, and you can pretty much spot them pretty easily in content. You ever look at the comment section of videos or anything, they'll always ask, especially like high level players. And like, let's say for me, for example, they'll always ask, why don't you stack with Emong, you, ML7 and Jay and like anyone else, right? They don't understand that high-level players haven't been able to stack for like 3 years. They just don't follow anything. Evie made a really good point on Twitter, almost by accident. So if you haven't heard about this, let me show you. So Overwatch 1 will officially go offline on October 2nd. It's going to get clarified a little bit lower, but this is the tweet. October 2nd, Overwatch 2 will launch on October 4th. There will be 27 hours where Overwatch is unavailable. Update. Obvious mistake. There will be going down on the 3rd, back on the 4th, 27 hours. The 27 hours is still accurate. The first date was wrong. People confused as this hit a much wider audience. Overwatch 2016, this is why it's being clarified, I'll talk about it. Overwatch 2016 will go offline forever and will cease to exist, while Overwatch 2 will be free to play. Overwatch 1 players will benefit with having everything unlocked that they already do in Overwatch 1 when going to Overwatch 2. Look at the first comment, and I'm only showing you this first one, not because I don't want to scroll through Twitter, which I don't, because scrolling through Twitter on stream is a quick way to get banned. But look at the first comment. Oh, they'll force us to buy the second one, losing all time played and skins we got. What a wonderful company. And like, for us that have been playing the game for a long time, or anyone who like is like even the most somewhat smallest amount of informed, a literal Google search, one, would probably prove to you that you're a fucking moron. However, people don't even get that connection that they probably should look it up. They just assume they're right. This goes through this whole thread. This is a public thread. If you want to look this up in your own time, you can. There are hundreds, maybe even thousands of comments that are very similar to this one. The amount of casual players that have no fucking clue what Overwatch 2 is, what it entails, what's free and what's not, what is actually happening is insane. I actually think that most of the casual players hate the idea of 5v5. And it didn't even occur to me why until I actually was just scrolling through a random Twitter thread at one point in the last like 2 days, just reading like stupid people's opinion. It's probably the worst thing I do is read stupid people's opinion, but it gives me a better idea of like how to frame mine so that it can like be better understood. Because like, you know, it's like how many times, like, you know, it's like I feel like I say things in like a way that can be understood, but not everyone can. So I try to always improve that and make it better, right? I didn't even realize that most of the casuals have fucking friends. They don't like 5v5 because now they have to kick one of their friends. They always stack. They always play 6v6 like quick play like once a week or once a month or whatever. They can't play with that sixth player anymore, so they hate the game. I was like, oh my god. Holy shit, I didn't even think of that. Because, I mean, there's more than that. Like, don't get me wrong, there's more than that. Like, there's like, oh, like, there's some people, especially competitive people, like, oh, the tank synergies. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking specifically very casual people, right? They actually care about that because they play 6 stacks with friends. And we haven't thought about that for years because as the top level players, like the streamers, content creators, we're so disconnected from everybody now because everyone thinks we're pandered to. It's the opposite. We're realistically locked in a fucking box. Everyone looks at us because we're on stage, right? So like it's like a big stage. It's a big theater. We're on stage, right? And everyone's looking at us. And they're like, look at, they're putting them on stage. They're pandering to them. No, but we're in a cage. We're in a fucking cage on the stage. We can't stack. Like you get like as you climb, you get more and more punishments towards you. The community is much smaller, so you end up having to deal with like more drama. People target you, people hate you, they think that you're the reason like why they can't fucking climb, or they think that you're the reason why like getting them in their game is like, you know, like you're the worst thing that has ever happened on the face of the planet. Cheaters, like cheaters want to get to your rank, that's where they want to thrive. Like cheaters don't want to go cheat in gold. Do you think any cheaters want to go to gold and play? What the fuck's the point of going to gold and playing and cheating? Like, the only point of cheating in gold is to climb to get to GM. Think about that. Like, nobody cares about going to cheat in gold. Like, if you go into gold, you're smurfing. You're going down there with your actual skill, and you go down there and, like, pub stomp, right? If you're cheating, you want to go beat the best players. So everyone's fighting their way up. So there's, like, this bubble of, like, oh, like, they're pandering to the highest level players. And casuals genuinely believe that high-level play has been pandered to. That is absolutely not the case. There are certain things that they've done to make high-level play slightly better. Like in the past, it was removing the stacking queue because there was people that were cheesing 6 stacks at 6 a.m., VPNing to Australia, and then the infamous 4 stack of pro players of Jonak, Carpe, Mono, and Fury just running through the ladder at the night, and people didn't like that. Those were like little changes, but in the long run, it fucked us. Like that was mostly like Overwatch just trying to like make a readjustment, and then they never went back on it. Like stacking needs to be unlocked again. Like for those that don't know, Blizzard needs to figure it the fuck out. And I've said this to them many times, and they're starting to listen, but it's too slow. Like for example, not to call it out, but one of the ways they like to communicate in the past, and it's starting to change a little bit with Aaron making a Twitter and whatnot, was they post shit on the forums. Nobody fucking reads the forums, dude. Like, dude, even the forum readers probably don't want to read the forums. Like, the forums are like angry Yelp reviews. Nobody, when they're happy with something, goes to the forums. Not a single person. I have been playing competitive games for like 20 years, and I've never looked at forums in my life past like 2007 when like Call of Duty 4, they were trying to figure out like what bigger kill streaks people might like. Like way back when they were planning like Modern Warfare 2. Like fucking forever ago. Like that's it. I haven't looked at a fucking forum since. Things like Twitter are more mainstream. Things like Reddit are even more mainstream, but it's still not that great. Like it's still really small. Like you have like your official Twitter account that's been dormant basically for like 3 years. They're very bad at explaining what is happening. Now, if you want to talk marketing, I also think the marketing is not doing well, but I'll get to that in a minute. Evie actually made a good point in a later tweet. Hold on, let me see if I can show you really quick. And I think this is a very, very fucking good take. I really am convinced that the last 34 months of Overwatch 2's marketing may be the biggest flop in gaming history. I think that's fact. I think that in like 10 years, there's going to be a case study done on Overwatch's marketing and how Overwatch fell apart. 100%. Anyways, with how okay, so our biggest flop in gaming history, with how confused the general population is, in no small part due to how you can't learn any news from inside the game itself as a live service game. You have millions of active players every month. This is like referring to like the old, like remember like forever ago they used to talk about like stuff. And yet you don't have news in the game. Fucking bonkers to me. Console players, and this is very unique to console, and I speak this as a former console player. I played console up until 2018, late 2018, like December 2018. So I played console for like my whole life, basically, until that point. Console players have no idea, and BNet players are only ever slightly better off with the launcher having some important news occasionally. Most people don't read the launcher, they just click through it really fast. Unless it's the first thing that pops up and it's eye-catching, like the featured streamer events. Those are eye-catching, and they do something, but it's not as big as they hope, I don't think. I have given them this feedback multiple times over the years, and improvement was finally adding patch notes into the game. So for those who don't remember, patch notes weren't always in the game. Like, when patches came out, you had to go online to look them up. Like, that sounds crazy, right? But like, you had to go online to look them up all the time, no matter what. It was like, wait, what? You know? And there are games that are like that, but they're much newer. They're much, much newer. And even so, they do a lot of other things right to try to like let people know. What is the point of this? I genuinely have this fear. Now, I mean, it might change in the next couple weeks because we still got some time. And I do believe that we're in the age of TikTok. Really short, really high burst marketing is better than long-term plans, especially with how bad Overwatch 2 has been fucked up marketing wise. So it's savable with depending on how big of a burst they want to go with. I just think that I'm afraid we're going down the road where all the casual players are now going to hate the competitive / streamers like Apex does. Because they genuinely believe they're getting pandered to and genuinely believe that they're getting all this stuff, but it's like, no, they're just the people that are paying attention. They're not the people that are, you know, like they're the people that are paying attention and giving feedback. They're not the ones that are just like AFK. And the ones that are AFK, it's not your fault. Like, being a casual gamer is fun. I actually kind of miss that. I just have this weird feeling that people are not going to understand what Overwatch 2 is for like a year. Like, it's going to take like a year for people to figure it out and be like, oh, that game was actually free? Oh, okay. Also, wait, streamers also hear a lot of opinions from the community, and they're kind of good at messages for what they hear. Well, yeah, it's the idea of it's better having like 4 or 5 voices in the room than having 100 voices room and 1,000 voices in the room. Because if you only have 5 people talking, you can kind of understand everyone somewhat. If you have 100 people talking, you can't hear almost anybody. 1,000 people talking, it's just noise. That's what very much like is feedback, is like having it funneled is not terrible. I really do think that they're turning it around, and I think their strategy is good. I think the game is going to be good. I think their battle pass and the way they're going through everything is pretty good. Minus the hero thing, but like, it's realistically, you got 4 ways. 3 of them are free. 1 of them is paid. It's not that terrible. It's pretty reasonable because they got to make some money. Overall, the actual marketing itself is really bad. Did you have a good time with your IRL friends? I'd say so. I got to see like some people that I hadn't seen in a long, long time. I was talking about it. I was like, when was the last time I saw you guys? When was the last time we actually all hung out? It was May of last year. It's like, holy shit. I will say, and I know they watch my stream sometimes, so God, might sound like kind of asshole-ish, but they're so excited for Overwatch 2. Like, so excited for Overwatch 2. Like, unbelievably so. And they all want to play it so bad. And they've actually been playing Overwatch 1 in the meantime. They didn't tell me, but they've been playing it. And they want to play Overwatch 2. And I was like, oh yeah, like, you should. And they're like, no, like, you're going to play with us? And I was like, no. They're like, why not? I'm like, dude, I hate to be that guy, but I can't. Like, dude, like, I know what you want. You want me to play tank with you and boost you guys. Like, I know what it is. I'm not stupid. And you're like, so what? And I was like, so what? That's a big fucking deal, dude. And like, because they're just casual gamers, they're like, oh, who cares? We'll just only stack together. And I'm like, yes, I understand that. Like, I understand you guys are only going to always play as a stack, so you're not going to ruin anyone else's games. But I will ruin somebody else's games, and that's going to be bad because I don't want to do that, so it's not going to happen. And I was just like, it was a very odd conversation because they're very, very casual gamers, so they didn't understand the whole idea of like the competitive integrity of not yoinking people's SR. So it was a longer conversation than it probably needed to be. But it's just like, it just shows you the difference between like people that actually like competitively care about competitive integrity and talk about like all that stuff, and people that literally just 5 or 6 stack with their friends all the time. Yeah, I did say I'd quick play with them. I did say I'd quick play, but they want to comp. They only play comp in every game. Like, we used to be like super competitive gamers like way back when, and it's like even if they're very casual players now, they only play comp. You know, they always play as a group. Do you know what I mean? Imagine running into flats at a Lost arcade. Jesus Christ. Oh man, I can see the Reddit threads now. Like me, I only really play comp. My girlfriend only wants to play quick play. You know what? I respect it though. I respect it. Everyone wants to play their own thing, and I think that's what makes Overwatch so good. You know, like, yo, like how crazy would like a ranked Mystery Heroes go? You know what I mean? Like, bro, that shit would go fucking bananas. I don't play because I don't want to get boosted. I want to earn my rank. Well, I think that's why for a long time solo queue was like the mentality of many players, is they didn't want that. I mean, I was a solo queue only player for the longest time, like very long time. And then I started doing with car queue a little bit way back when. So I was like solo queue / duo queue. And then when I became a streamer, I was solo queue only again. And then I do a car queue a few more times solo, or when I was streaming. And then I was solo queue again, like, because I started streaming earlier. Car queue was like not streaming as much. And then Jay wanted a duo, so I do it with him a little bit. But I was still a lot of solo queue. I started doing with Emong, and then everyone wanted to duo with me. Then I did like what I can like remember is like my world tour, where I duoed with like Fitzy, I duoed with car queue again, I duoed with Jay, I duoed with like Yeetle, I duoed with. Who else did I duo with? I just a lot of fucking people, and wanted. And then after that, me and Emong started doing more, and then it became like routine. So yeah, here we are. Did you originally solo to GM? Not my first time. Me and my buddy who both were GM on console, we duo queued. Well, I was originally a DPS player. He was a support player, so we were DPS support. He got GM on support. I was stuck like 3,500 plus like high diamond, and then he ended up making another account to play with me on, and I ended up role swapping, and I ended up going to tank, and I spent like a week learning tank, and just like fucking Giga Chad, like learned everything in a week, I swear, and then just hit GM. Then I was wondering if I got boosted / or if I was actually good, so I made another account. And I solo queued that one to GM in like a couple weeks, like 2 weeks. So then I was like, okay, I actually did. This was actually real. I did that. Like it wasn't the boost. I actually played well. And then I guess the rest was kind of history. I think I went to like pretty much solo queue at that point. The only time I can ever say that I truly was boosted, it was in CS:GO. I truly got fucking boosted in CS:GO. So I used to play on like a team for Overwatch way back when I was like trying to actually be like really good at the game. And you know, in the downtime when we didn't have scrims and whatnot, like people would play other games. And one of the games they loved to play was CS:GO, and I had no experience playing CS:GO. And they're like, "We'll teach you. Like you should play with us, you know." And I was like, "Okay, I'll play CS:GO." So they ended up getting accounts, and we all played together. And dude, I was awful. Like I really genuinely was fucking terrible. Like I didn't have mechanical skill yet. I was still very early into my like tank at that point. Like, remember I hadn't got through like 3,500 on DPS. I was like diamond in DPS, so like that was with me grinding it all the time. So I didn't have like the mechanical skill, and so we played CS. And I don't remember what it's called, but whatever the double AK rank is, the double golden AKs, they boosted me all the way to like that, and we were still kind of climbing. But I ended up actually getting poached to a better team at that point. Plus, they weren't really taking it as serious anymore, and I still was, so I was like, sorry. So I ended up never playing with them again in CS. So I've never touched my CS account since, because I feel like I don't know if they have MMR Decay or whatever, but I'm way too high. I am way too high now to ever play a CSGO again. So I've never played CSGO since. Oh, rank does Decay? Oh, okay, so maybe I can play it again. They should do Decay for GMs. They should do Decay, period. There shouldn't be just GMs, because even in the metal ranks, maybe this is a bit of a hot take, but the reason why Apex Ranked is so successful is because they don't just lock the GMs and the high-level players in a box. Like I was saying earlier, is like the casuals think that the high level players are being pandered to because they're the ones on stage, but y'all are sitting in the bleachers watching the stage. We're locked in a fucking box on the stage. It's not like we're getting to perform and everyone's like, oh yay, this is amazing. We're literally fucking like caged animals. Like, we're treated so differently for being good at the game in a bad way. What makes Apex so good is everyone gets decayed. If you don't play Apex, period, you get sent back. Because the way ranked works of any game in history is that over time, the players will get better. If you're someone who consistently plays all the time and you've been gold for the last 3 seasons, guess what? You might have been gold for the last 3 seasons, but you've gotten better because the community got better. If you look at Diamond gameplay from 2017 or 2018, it looks like low silver now. Not joking. Actually, someone's got to ask Karku. Karku has film of it. Karku has film of like a high diamond game in 2017, and it looks like silver right now. It is dog shit. The game and the players improve. You can't just treat the high level players as if they're some magic unicorns. Everyone needs to decay down because that encourages you to play the game. And if you don't play the game, you shouldn't hold your rank because the game will keep changing. In that you should keep having to prove that you are the rank that you are. Camping is dog shit. High level players don't like camping. Low level players wouldn't like it either if they had to feel like they had to fight for their next rank. And someone else got to keep it for free. Do you think it should decay all the way down to bronze? Absolutely. Absolutely. Start you over.